Hello, um, my name's Jackson. I thought I would just start with that because I wanted to do something different as evidence of my chatbot. Initially, I followed the workshop, um, but then I started exploring some possibilities, which I came up with what you just saw. I saw what you could do with sound, saw what you could do with changing characters and those kinds of things. And obviously, there's a lot more you could do. So I went on YouTube and sort of saw what people have done. Some people have created games, as you can see on the screen here. Other people have created just short films. It's very interesting. Um, I thought this linked to the Year 7 curriculum in particular, especially in creating a user experience of a digital system, and then designing an algorithm, but also just general purpose programming language was all involved in this. But then with design and technologies, I thought this enabled students to select from a range of materials or components on Scratch to create a design, essentially. Um, I thought possible other STEM connections that were there were using project management skills. You could turn this into a team sort of project as well. And then I thought for mathematics, Scratch enables you to create a calculator. So you could use Scratch in mathematics by getting students to create a calculator, which fits in with their curriculum in compare, order, add, and subtract integers. It essentially allows them to do a lot of different things. Well, for assessment, I thought this is definitely a small group project that you could do where they just sort of answer, pretty much follow a workshop just like we did there. It doesn't have to be small group project, it could just be individual work, just enabling students to demonstrate their understanding of how to use Scratch. But if you wanted to do a summative project, it could be a large group project where they have to project manage and pretty much get given a question to design a chatbot for something, and then going with a report as well. So it's teamwork and programming. And then moving on to creating an avatar, I had a lot of issues with this. I thought it didn't quite work with the technology that I have. My laptop is only 2 years old, but it's really struggling to do it, and I couldn't embed a video of the workshop into here, but I thought I can make the whole thing the same as the workshop. So here I am on top of the screen. In the workshop, I did answer all these questions. I followed it, and I thought it was very interesting, but I thought it definitely showed the limitations of this technology because it really messed with my computer and made it very jumpy, as it is right now, which I thought makes it hard considering the technology that schools use isn't, I don't know if it's quite as good. So I think we're lagging a bit behind now. But I thought if we go into curriculum links, I thought this fits with Year 7, where they plan and manage projects, specifically looking at how to communicate ideas or collaborate online. This metaverse 3D avatar allows students to collaborate online in a different way. and taking in safety and social context into account. Obviously, they need to understand what that means. But then I thought it also allows students to judge different audiences using different technologies. And they can sort of test different design ideas, testing different avatars. If you want to explore different possible STEM connections, I thought you could turn it into developing criteria for its success, so they can sort of analyze and judge whether this is an effective and sustainable tool. And also where they think this could be used in the real world, where they can decompose real world problems and see if this works with those, and sort of understand the constraints it might have. Now, in the assessment, I thought it would be a possible diagnostic assessment where they look at the usability of it or how to do it. With the formative assessment, I thought students could create their own avatar, like we did in the workshop, and answer the questions exactly like we did in the workshop. I thought it was an excellent formative assessment that you could conduct in a Year 7 classroom. But with summative, I thought we could explore that even further with the additional curriculum links by then them explaining what this could do for the real world, and what the limitations are of that technology. Now, moving into exploring space as my next one, I started with Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. I followed the workshop, and then I went off and did it on my own in just a nearby park. And it's a definite Year 5 curriculum project, because that's exactly when they start looking at the systems of the solar system, essentially. They look at everything that was in that workshop. But they also, you could look at it in the mathematics portal using appropriate units of measurement. We don't want to use centimeters, we want to use meters to really explain it. But it also allows students to apply the enlargement transformation, so shrinking something down. If you wanted to explore this even further with the curriculum, you could add them making a diagram using grid references to sort of demonstrate where they were standing at each time. But if you wanted to do this in Year 7, it's a great opportunity to apply ratios and scaling. If you wanted to go on to our assessments, diagnostic would just be a whole class activity where you just do it all together, and you can sort of assess students' understanding of what we are talking about. With the formative, you could then go onto the diagram using key features. But then in the summative, I would only do that in Year 7. I wouldn't do that in Year 5. I would do the investigation on scale and ratios, where you would apply what they've learnt from this designing of planets, and use that on something else of their choosing, where they could pretty much just change something's scale and then create an investigation on it, really. Thank you for listening.